Just recently, Clem, the best terran in Europe, took his 5th trophy at Dreamhack Europe. Clem on the Plunge is the second youngest player in StarCraft 2 to achieve such high consecutive results, being only a little bit less successful and 3 months younger than his nemesis, Reynor from Italy. Suddenly, the European StarCraft 2 region is being dominated by 2 youngsters who came to power only a couple of years ago, and today we'll hear the story of Clem, one of the prodigies who will likely become one of the best players in the world quite soon. Clem is only 20 years old, but his StarCraft 2 experience is literally half his life. He started playing this game already at the age of 10, and just look at this cute photo of him trying his best from the very early days of StarCraft 2. Like many of us, Clem was very competitive at a young age, but what made him grow so fast and so successfully on the ladder? One of the reasons that Clem mentions himself is his dad. He is a very supportive person who always did his best to make his son happy. He always believed in his child and his success, and this positive energy contributed a lot to Clem's rise.
He's very competitive. When he plays something, he always wants to win, and he's able to focus a lot on what he's doing. Clem was not very happy when he was at school. Maybe because it was too slow. I realized very late that maybe he's a fast learner and he needed to have more things to do at school. And he was so happy when he was playing tournaments at StarCraft. So I just wanted him to be happy.
For some months, Clem was indecisive about which race to play, but eventually he stopped at Terrans and started making his way with Marines and Marauders attacks left and right. Terran is considered to be one of the best races for fast players, and that's exactly how you can describe Clem, lightning fast. His first 3 years, however, were not marked by any noticeable achievements. For his age, he was doing quite well, but he wasn't in the spotlight. However, already in 2015, Clem qualified for Dreamhack Valencia in Spain, where his performance left much to be desired. But that was a very important experience for our young French hero. He also took part in most local competitions with varying success. The year of Clem was 2016. First, he started his domination run on local French tournaments, but it was quickly overshadowed by his brilliant WCS 2016 performance. During European qualifications, Clem managed to outperform most favorites, including Happy, the strongest European terran from Russia.
Non,
il peut encore...
là j'irai pas là moi.
Il peut l'empaler mais c'est pas le moment.
Voilà, c'est chaud là.
C'est chaud.
Là il donne des tanks. Hein.
Il steam 3-3 hype. Les marines qui ne meurent pas avec tous ces Dreamhack. Les marines qui vont un tour, qui compostent le billet. Est-ce que c'est fait pour Clem?
C'est fait là. Allez, il faut prendre cette base. Il faut la prendre, il faut se positionner. Mais il a perdu tous ses tanks, j'ai l'impression qu'il a plus que 3 tanks.
Mais il a 4 factos Clem.
4 factos? Ah ouais, gros porc quand même.
Ah ouais, on est presque au niveau d'Imray.
Ouais, on en est pas loin du tout.
Allez, faut dropper dessus.
Est-ce qu'il peut pas se positionner? GG! Et c'est Clem qui se qualifie pour la Dreamhack Tour, les amis. Oh là là, c'est game de l'espace.
But the Cinderella story was suddenly disrupted by organizers. Due to age restrictions, Clem was disqualified from the event. Imagine the pain and sadness he felt at that moment. His deserved spot was taken away only because he was too young to participate in the main event.
I remember when I qualified to WCS, I was actually like so happy, and it was also at this time that I saw like, okay, I can actually compete with the EU scene and also like actually beat some pro players that were actually like really good. But qualifying and then being told you can't play because of your age is like, yeah, little sad, little demotivating, really disappointed at the time because I was really looking forward to that event, especially because it was in France.
For some months he started to play other games. He knew he had to wait for 2 years to take part of the official tournaments. For me, 2 years is quite quick, but for him it was so long.
He needed to wait another 2 years. This was a real sentence, being locked down from the best StarCraft 2 experience. Clem had an excuse to give up or take a big break, but he didn't lose his passion, although it was a tough waiting time. His results at that period were quite impressive, and yet they were not near the top level. It was too early to talk about any breakouts. But most loyal StarCraft 2 fans already saw a big potential in him. He was like a promised prince for Terran race who will restore its status. In 2018, it was high time to participate in premier events. The first one would be WCS Austin, where he quickly impressed the public with defeating Showtime in the second group stage. However, he was later placed with TLO and Serral next, and it would be too much of a challenge for him and at that point of his career. Unfortunately, this would be a pattern for the next couple of years. Everybody was predicting the year of Clem, yet it was too early. He and his father had some doubts that he might not grow to be the top player, just a very good one.
When he went to his first LAN, I understood he was very good. But it's difficult to know when you're going to stop growing, because you can be very good very fast, but never become very, very good.
But the community had faith in him, and so did Team Liquid. Clem became a part of Blue Horses, having little achievements compared to other Team Liquid members. But he was awarded with trust, and soon he would prove they made no mistake.
So in Katowice was also when I did my first few very important games in Team Liquid, and I really wanted to show that I was able to compete in those tournaments, but I had maybe a pretty poor performance there, and I was actually like pretty disappointed.
Off guard there. Yeah, Clem had absolutely no idea that army was there at all.
For the next event, for the next Dreamhacks, I'm like gonna try my best and practice as hard as I can to like really do way better in the Dreamhacks than I did in Katowice.
The year 2020, after many months of good but not great performances, Clem starts another day with Dreamhack StarCraft 2 Masters. The times have changed, Zerg race is not considered to be the best anymore, and the balance is quite different. Clem easily makes it out of the group, and now it's time to secure his positions in the playoffs. Will he get rid of his mental block and advance further than just the round 16? The first opponent is Mana, whom Clem outplays with ease. The next victim is Uthermal. The fight gets a bit harder, but the outcome is the same. And now we have Clem with his highest career achievement, secured top 3 spot in the premier event of StarCraft 2. But he faces Serral. People put really high hopes on the French hero to defeat the Night King, and the first map he meets a fierce Zerg resistance.
This is how Serral makes you feel, just hopeless, helpless. And Clem, upon feeling that way, he starts pushing out down the middle of the map, but he has so much creep to push through.
Yep, and obviously in this position as well, Serral can come in from multiple angles, can come in from the right, a little bit from the bottom, but a lot of units have been morphing on the top as well. The tanks are quite exposed, the Thor isn't here to really push these mutas back, so Serral gets a cleanup before things even get very dangerous.
Oh, and it's so much Ling mutating. A nice Widowmine on lots of Veilings and Lings, but that isn't Serral's entire army. The Thor getting magic boxed there by the mutas. Serral, it feels like he's pushing this back really darn well. And that's still so many mutas in the air, taking down lots of medevacs as well. I feel, yeah, this is kind of the beginning of the end.
It seemed like there is little chances to win. Serral is remarkably good at any stage of the game. He's not only clever but also incredibly fast. However, Clem does his best to prove his father and the whole community that he is the promised champion.
Here for Serral. I think Clem is hoping to go up against 2-base Muta here. The Nidus is already going down in the main base. Clem sees it immediately though, and still has units at home, so he is going to be able to snipe this first Nidus. And at this point, even if Clem's plan was to be aggressive, I would say don't be aggressive, but the Queens actually get out. They transfuse the Nidus. Are you kidding me? How is this alive? But I don't know if this is that good for Serral. This is a lot of units for Clem, right?
It certainly is, and one of the Queens with a transfuse, or at least close to transfuse, does die immediately, and now the Hellbats are out. These Roaches are kind of sacrificed here. I'm not sure that was the right play at all, but I mean, he was very all-in. More Roaches do come out. This Mule obviously not mining, and now it's a case of how many SCVs can he keep alive? By the way, Serral back at home, still producing nothing but Roaches like battle units here, a few Lings in the natural. GG, Clem ties up the series. Cleaning up this army isn't enough. He really needs to dominate Clem and get him off the map.
Yeah, Clem is still attacking hatcheries as well on the bottom side. Serral now finally starts his base. Big Widowmine hits there indeed on the mutas, and just like that.
But Serral is a tough contender. He shakes it off and proceeds to win the next map. Now they tie the score up, and it all comes down to the last battle.
More Ben and a couple of Hydras. We've got Ultras in the mix as well, and especially those Ultras on creep. But there are Vipers in the mix too. Are terrifying units to go up against. Clem really wants to get this base on the right side, and these Widowmine hits are decent, but a lot of these banings do finish up. I have the feeling that this could be it. I don't see Clem winning this engagement against Serral.
No, and even after all the Chaos Paws, nice parasitic bomb, beautiful counter splits again, but Serral still maxed out. This Zerg is not faltering at all. Oh, it feels like Serral, he's on song right now, and he's strangling Clem out of this game, slowly but surely.
Yep, the base on the left side got taken out. A couple of SCVs went down there, and then we've got this massive army denying this base one more time. Even a mule being dropped, trying to save this command center. Clem is still just working with Marines, Marauders, and a couple of Widowmines, and I feel like Serral has made some serious progress in his army. Clem simply didn't.
No, Serral's been holding on, but not only holding on, he's been evolving and teching up and just winning every fight on the left side, on the right side, more and more. And he's even getting air upgrades for air units that he doesn't yet have, but he's thinking about the next transition. I don't think Clem's going to stay alive for that one.
Nope, these SCVs feel very vulnerable. 13 of them go down. The Orbital Command goes down as well. At the same time, we still have Hydras, Banes, and Ultras fighting in the right bottom side. Widowmine's trying to do whatever they can. But man, I think it's a little too much swarm. Clem is officially running out of steam, even though 4 Marauders in a Planetary Fortress.
It was so close, but not close enough. An achievement to win so many maps against Serral, but also a disappointment. The next opponent is Reynor, another unbelievably good Zerg player, and this time, however, Clem has a lot more troubles fighting. Very soon he ends up playing another Dreamhack Masters. The roster is almost identical to the previous one, and no real challenge until he meets Serral, who sends him to the lower bracket. All the way from the lower bracket, Clem makes it to top once again, defeating many great names including Serral himself. And who is waiting in the finals? It's Reynor, of course. The Italian player starts with a 1-map advantage and quickly gets another one in his pocket. Clem seems to be too nervous while playing his nemesis. Would he finally overcome his opponent and take first place?
Position!
Hold position lurkers! He's gonna be able to catch so many of these Marines! Surprisingly, not that many Marines actually going down there, huh?
No, that could have been a lot worse because they kind of only shot at the tanks. So in a way that actually worked out for Clem. Maybe Reynor getting a little too fancy there, because if they would have just been on auto attack, I actually think that would have gone way better. Then Clem wouldn't have been able to scan and kill all those lurkers. So what should have been a fantastic play kind of backfired. Clem sees those lurkers and decides to disengage.
Yeah, but now he sees, okay, well, the lurkers actually have nothing protecting them right now. Link's coming forward, He's trying to come off on those lurkers, manages to keep one of them alive for quite a bit longer, and these Marines on death's doorstep. Looks like Reynor's going to feel comfortable just trying to engage into them because he's trying to buy time for 4 more lurker cocoons to finish up. They are going to be able to finish up 2 of them, but so many of them have already gone down. These Marines are really pushing into Reynor's territory after a crazy start to this game. Clem is suddenly sitting up 50 supply.
Yeah, I think this game is actually just about to end, even though a lot of these Marines are low on HP. But Clem smells blood as he steams forward one more time. GG gets called. Even if the Broodlords do show up, the first Thors are out, the first Vikings are well on the way. Reynor needs a modern-day miracle over here.
Yeah, lock-ons come out on a majority of the army. The siege tanks unload their shots onto the Ravagers. And the Ravagers just actually disappear off the face of the planet. We're going to have seen that hatchery going to be taken down by these Cyclones very shortly. And, well, I think these 4 Broodlords could probably fight versus the Planetary Fortress being repaired for maybe like another 10 minutes. But I'm not sure they'll actually kill it.
Reynor knows it as well. GG gets called. And Reynor is starting to lose more and more drones. And he's definitely in all sorts of trouble. He knows it as well. Possible melee finished up, that's nice. But how do you ever get up the ramp? How do you ever get in range of 8 or 9 tanks if you don't have Vipers, you don't have Ultras? Tiny circling flank coming in, picking actually up 1 or 2 of the tanks in the back. Very well done by Reynor, but it doesn't matter. GG gets called. Like if you want to kill SCVs, why not do it through a Dropper?
Yeah. It's definitely been pretty strong. It's also been kind of interesting to note that the Banshee was made much earlier on, but it's actually just been on this patrol path over here, chilling and just keeping an eye out for Ling run-bys or anything else like that. So Kind of interesting, Clem has just made the Banshee, but a purely defensive Banshee. Banshee didn't even try to go get some damage done.
Yep. Oh, the tank stars siege up a little bit late. Reynor dives on it immediately, gets both. Did lose a lot of Zerglings and Banelings though, but if Reynor can keep his queens alive here, it's okay. But look at the movement of Clem. He's getting right on top of all those queens. Well done. Snipes the Banelings there as well. One Baneling does kind of connect in the end. What a crazy fight. I thought that neither player really expected this. The Dropper Lord killed 9 SCVs while the fight is still going on, but I think with all the reinforcements showing up, Reynor should be fine here.
Yeah, Seashank does get surrounded and picked off. The Banshee is getting picked off by the Queens as Clem is busy microing his Marines around. He still has this rallying of units coming across the map. This game went from 2 to 11 in a matter of seconds.
Drop
and Clem
Lord
is really going to have to be paying attention to these drop overlords.
Yep, I mean, Clem wants to pay attention to his army because it's on creep, and that obviously makes sense, but he lost so many tanks already, and now he's just forced to keep an eye on that Dropper Lord that's now finally in the main. Reynor, drop it! Yep, there you go. 4 more SCVs go down. Clem wants to keep pushing, but with only 1 tanks, it feels difficult. But hey, if Clem gets the hatchery, that's pretty sick.
That's the only 2 Banes that were out on the map right there, Kev. There's 9 wings left over. They're getting picked off.
That focus fire was insane. The Banelings were so close, but the Marines survive, and with only 1 tank, Clem is just not stopping. There are 5 queens on the way. Reynor couldn't spend his money after he lost the queens before. This hatchery is gone though. Now we still have the hatch on the left side, which Clem doesn't even know about yet, as Reynor setting up a little counterattack. I mean, Reynor doesn't have a lot of units out right now, Fear Dragon. It's only 39 supply, but Banes on creep are always scary.
The Link counterattack has to get a lot of damage done over here. The Queens are transfusing each other to try and stay alive, but the Banelings don't feel confident they can connect. Now the Baneling nest is actually getting focus fire down. The Link counterattack is getting cleaned up, and Reynor is losing drone after drone. He's going to find the Sea Shanks over here, but the Sea Shanks gonna wail away at those Queens. And as that Baneling nest goes down, there's only 4 Banes left on the map, Kev. I think Clem has done it. He wins his first Premier tournament.
Well done, Clem.
Masters Winter felt really nice getting the revenge on Reynor in the grand finals. I really do remember the last game against Reynor. I started winning the game and then I was like, okay, I need to finish him now. I was just like giving it all. I was taking some damage at home, but I was like, okay, I don't care. As long as I just win on his side of the map and as long as I win the game, I'm gonna be fine. So I kind of just like forgot about everything else and just like focused on really winning the game.
I think Clem has done it. He wins his first Premier tournament.
You've had such a consistent climb upwards. It's honestly been really beautiful to watch. Once again, Clem, you are the victor here at Winter, but also a champion for the first time in Europe.
And thus, Clem becomes the champion for the first time in his life. The Terran Hope, the Wonder Kid, the Comeback Kid becomes a new star for all Terran players in StarCraft 2 community. Clem's playstyle is characterized by his lightning-fast speed and desire to put pressure on his opponents. He is not a methodical, slow player, he is fast and furious all over the map, using multi-pronged attacks everywhere he can. This playstyle allows him to be a severe threat to most players who are not keeping up with his speed, and here are a few examples from the last event that Clem won.
He has in the form of Link Baneling, so he should have no problem dealing with the mines. This is where Clem, I mean, he has to make a decision, do I stick on mines or do I start going for the tanks? Because that is a significant number of Hydras now.
That is going to be a tough question. He's going to start thinning out a little bit of that Hydra count as he is finding Hydras on both sides of the map that are pretty much unprotected because there's 0 Banelings left out on the map right now, only a handful of Lings as well. But man, now Clem is going to actually have a really, really nice upgraded advantage in a few moments' time. 2-2 about to finish up. He also heads into the main base, bypasses all of the spores, just boosts straight over them. Is gonna not really be targeting on anything specifically, but he's drawing attention away so he can try and hit in from the north side with some attacks. And well, that also looks like it's actually going to be overwhelmed with just a raw number of Hydras.
Yeah, Hydras are going to be very powerful here, especially with Link Bane to support. He obviously wants that Link Bane to support. The Hydras would probably win regardless, but you don't want to lose them because they're much more expensive per cost than the Marines. And now with this many Marines and with the medevacs arriving as well as the Widow Mines in the back, Reynor's kind of struggling. That one Baneling will get picked off easily by Clem any day of the week. And now Clem actually breaking through. The Hydras not able to stand their ground. And now the reinforcements are a little bit slow to come here from Reynor. On the other side, Clem continues to apply aggression, which is part of why Reynor's not taking the best possible engagement there with his unit on the north. the Queens do manage to find a medevac there on retreat and another one as well, making it so that all of these units will only fit in one medevac and they don't even pick up.
At the time this video was made, Clem had already won 5 Dreamhack Masters and is looking forward to adding more titles to his collection. After this first victory, he found more strength and will to win even in the most difficult situations. He can boast off with several comebacks in the matches, and this is why he was given the nickname the Comeback Kid. Unlike most stories on this channel, Clem's story is being written in the present, and I believe he is still to achieve many more awards and win even more matches. France is lucky to have such a great talent, and Clem is lucky to have such a great and supporting father, and the community that will cheer him up during any difficult trips. Currently, he is the second best terran in the world and also the best player from France. And that's it for today. Let's wish Clem all the best on his way to conquer new titles and achievements. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check other videos on this channel. Have a good day, good luck and have fun.